We appreciate you coming. Is there anybody here for the first time? Oh, a couple of you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad you found us. Next week we'll be back at the library, so be sure to join us there. All right, so I'm Casey Whitener. I'm one of the co-organizers here. 1 Million Cups is a Kauffman Foundation program. We're by entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs, and the idea is that our entrepreneurs are going to give you a little 6-minute talk about their business, and then you're going to get to Q&A with them for a little while. So today is a little bit different. What I'm going to do is turn it over to Fred and let him tell you about StormWater Studios and what he's doing and why he's excited about it. Then I'm going to let him tell you about this amazing exhibit that they have right now, and that should take about 6 minutes. And then we're going to break up and everybody wander around, and you can ask questions of Fred off and on. And then at 10 o'clock, y'all get kicked out, all right, because there are people that work here. And they actually have to go to work, all right? So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. If you haven't checked in on your mobile app, please do so. If you don't have the mobile app, try to download that when you're next on Wi-Fi and check in using that. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. All of our events are posted on the Facebook page, so you can see that upcoming stuff. And that's pretty much all I have for announcements. So welcome, Fred. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you all very much. One correction, you're not kicked out. StormWater Studios is open almost every afternoon and during the day, and the artists always welcome you to come in, look at what we have in the gallery, stop in, see some of our fine artists. StormWater Studios is 6 months old. We're having our 6-month anniversary about right now. A group of artists who have practiced together and worked together for about coming on 30 years came together up on Lady Street at a complex of studios called Vista Studios, created by the South Carolina Arts Commission and my organization, Columbia Development Corporation. You know how things are changing in the city, and property values are getting higher, and it's harder for artists to be able to operate. So after the Vista Studios lost their lease, Columbia Development Corporation, my organization, made a commitment that we were going to keep that creative energy in the neighborhood by bringing StormWater Studios to this piece of property down near the Congaree River. In Columbia, if we want this community to thrive, we have to keep arts and culture and vibrancy and fun. And we all talk about getting to the river, but we never seem to get there. So CDC owns this piece of property that we have had since 1982, and we committed to hold it. You know, it would have been so easy to build a bank here, or to build a bunch of an apartment complex for students here, but we held out to do something good for the culture and the future of our city. So StormWater Studios is 11 artist studios, all professional artists. In order to get here, you have to be juried in. We just had a jury process for one open studio. So artists will submit their work, go through a process. These artists are the jury. They make a decision who they're going to choose to come in. In order to be here, you have to participate in the process. There are all kinds of jobs to do here, from social media to literally taking out the trash. And they all trade off and do that in order to keep the operating costs as low as possible. Our property is really, really nice. If you go out and walk the property, and please do that while you're here, you'll find a pathway immediately behind the building that goes down to Kinsler Creek. There is a creek that runs all the way through the Vista that's underground that you will never see because it's underground, called Kinsler Creek. It daylights right here on our property, and you can follow the pathway along Kinsler Creek. It will loop right back up, come back to the building, and then right along the edge of the pathway, the future of our greenways, the Three Rivers Greenway, next section is supposed to be William Street. William Street is right there. The pathway connects to William Street. So I need to tell you about this show that you're looking at today. Last week, we had a real tragedy in the art world. An amazing woman named Laura Spong, one of our residence artists, passed away. Laura Spong was 92 years old. Let me tell you, all of you want to be like Laura Spong. Laura worked until weeks before her death. All she wanted to do was be in her studio. She turned into, over the last 30 years, one of the premier artists in South Carolina. The work that you're looking at here is called Objective Expressionism. Laura's work is in the South Carolina State Museum, in the Columbia Museum of Art, in collections all over the country. This is a fabulous, fabulous woman. And so one of our artists, Eileen Blythe, who's standing over here, put this show together to honor Laura Spong. It'll be up for a month. We'll have a special opening for this next Thursday, the 30th, if you'd like to come back for that. It'll be like 6 o'clock in the evening. So take a look at Laura Spong's work. And now, go out and take a look. We have lots of artists who have opened their studios this morning. And so those artists are here in this building, and I'll tell you who they are. Kirkland Smith is down the hall. Kirkland's probably the worst time to see Kirkland's studio because she scooped it all up and put it in an art show somewhere. Kirkland's a very nice woman. Her husband, by the way, is James Smith, who's running for governor right now. Heidi Dar-Hope, Heidi is here, is back behind the bar, but her studio is here. Heidi is an amazing woman who teaches art to people who are going through life crisis and really neat things. Sharon Licata at the end of the hall is a stone carver. Eileen Blythe right here is a great, probably expressionist art also. Is that, yeah. Pat Gilmartin around the corner here does a lot of clay and a lot of glass fusing, that sort of thing. Michelle McNinch is a fabulous painter. Her studio is open, and then at the end of the hall on the right is Stephen Chesley. Stephen's in his studio. He's a real interesting guy to talk to. Right over here, there are two more studios open. One-Eared Cow Glass, and they are blowing glass this morning, so take a step in there. And then Lewis and Clark Studios. Clark Ellefson is one of those longtime artists here in Columbia. So we have a complex of about 15 artists that are working here. My goal is 30 artists, and so we are hoping to build 2 more buildings out here on the property and have a hub for arts and culture that will be permanent in Columbia, contributing to what you folks do. I'm glad to take any questions, but let's do those personally, and y'all go take a look.
Thank you.
Thank you.